Thank you for taking your time about seeing this video. So a little bit about me before we are starting to learning something. I'm a founder of Astronomer.io. It's a e-learning platform for people that want to take simulations before they're going up for the CNCF certifications, the community of the cloud native. You can visit on Astronomer.io. That would be in the description too. I am a Kubernetes specialist. I spend all of my time to Kubernetes, and I see myself as a very big cloud native enthusiast. And then I love to learn out of what I'm doing. So in this case, I'm a public speaker. I'm speaking on different meetups and conferences. That's a little about me, and I think it's time to go into the content of this videos. Hello everyone, and welcome back for this video. In this video about the CKS exam video, you will work with the image footprint, and I will go in 4 different steps. And you can go for the repository, and the resource will be down in the description. But you can see we want to build the default image with the full size. Then we want to reduce the size with using multi-steps. Then we will log it to a version of the image to reduce the different bugs that can happen if you just log to the last image. Then we will go for running as non-root. You can use this inside Kubernetes, just to say read-only systems and run as no root. But if you do it inside the container, you secure about if the end user that use this image forget to log it in Kubernetes, you will help them to protect the image. So that's a good thing. Then we will go for read-only systems. So it could be etc only want to be readable. So that's what we want to do, one of them. And the last one, we will remove how you could protect you against the shell. So if all the bin files will be there, we will just remove it. So that's what you're going to learn in this video. And I will just use my local machine because that's much easier to do in this way. But in the exam, you will have access to the Docker, so it's no problem. So you just need to access the Docker. So that's the beginning. We will do that now. So let's change into the terminal and download the files. So let's scroll down here and copy the command here. That's just to get the default one, and that's what we need. And go for the terminal again, and we just paste it in, and then we have the app folder. So inside the app folder, we have the Dockerfile and the app go. And what we want to do now is say Docker build everything as a tag app. And then you can see it's starting to build and it's taking some time. So we just wait until it's done. So now when we are finished, we want to run. So Docker run and remove it after we are closing down app latest. And this should show user ID and group ID as 0. And that's mean we are running as root, and that's the first mistake we are done. So let's quit the application again, and let's see about how much the image are having a size. It's 678, and that could be okay. It's not so big yet, but remember, when you need to deploy a container on Node, then you need to transfer this file, and the bigger size of this image is have multi layers, and every single layer have some vulnerabilities inside, or could have. So the bigger sizes, the more tools are installed inside your operation system. And in this case, we don't need all the stuff when we need to run the container. So let's change that with the multi-step stage and reduce the image size. That will be the next step. So let's open up the Dockerfile. So inside the Dockerfile, we have this command, and what we want it's we want to create the next stage. So let's just call this for stage 1, stage 0, sorry, and this one for stage 1. Inside the stage 1, we want to alpine, and we want to say from is equal to 0. And why we are using the from 0, it's meaning we are using from, we're copying data from the stage 0 and copy it into the app folder. Sorry, we are taking the app folder and copy it inside the root we are going for. And that should be it. So let's save it again. And let's build it. And you can just, sorry, that's the run command. This is the build. So we just built the new steps. And let's see about the search here. And now you can see the image going from nearly 700 to 10 megabytes. So the attack surface of this image now is reduced a lot. So one of the questions inside the exams could be reduce the attack surface by reducing the image size using the from image alpine something. And that's how you can do that. But the next step of this could be something about don't allow the image to run as root, and you need to use this user as the user in this group. That could be another one. But before we are going for that, I will just going inside the build here and log it to 3.12.1. That's what we are going to log for now. And just to be sure, it can build. And let's run the application just to be sure the application can run. And see, yes, it's running as we expect. So that's still showing the user ID and the group ID. But let's solve the questions about running as non-root. So let's open the Dockerfile and make that happen. So inside your stage 1, because that's the execution image where you run, we want to create a group. And that's called add group. And then we need to, not add group, sorry, I mean app. It's because I try to copy this and run add user, and the user should be app user, and this app user should be inside the app group, and the home directory should be home as app user. So now we have creating the app group and the app user, and we have connected them together. And then we need to move it inside the home app user, because that's the home directory. And when we need to run the application, we want to command that inside the app user. And right now we don't change to the user, so we just need that before we are executing the application. We just need to say app user inside here, and that should be everything. And let's build it again. This should be built as we expect, and let's run it and see about, yes, now you can see it's running as a user ID 100 and a group ID 100. So almost now it's working as we expected. We have running the container now as non-root, and that's mean if the container getting exploited and people go inside the container now, then it's not possible to execute anything inside the container. At least it's only related for that user. The next step 3, will be to reduce the directory you can read. So I think we need to open the Dockerfile one more time, and we are still in the stage 1, because that's where we're gonna do all the security. And we will go up here and say run chmod a and w etc and that's the folder. So what we are doing here, we are saying this one are not allowed to, this is a read-only directory. So that's what we want to do here. So we need to build it, and that's what we do here. And then we basically need to run, so we daemon, run this as a docker run daemon with the name called app test, and we use the application image app. That's what we have, and then we have the ID, copy that, and then we need to execute it. So when we have the run, we can just say docker exit it, and exit app test it, and say we want to say is lsla etc. Sorry, that's not this one. Yes, here we go. And what we are doing here, it's listing everything inside the etc folder, sorry. And that's what we expect, because that's we are allowed to do that. What we are not allowed to do are touching the file. So if we say home app user demo.temp, that should be fine. And if we are doing this in the etc folder, this one, then it should be permission denied. And that's what we do with the Dockerfile here below in the stage here. That's mean the file system is only read only. And again, you can do that in the Kubernetes deployment container context, but it's very important if you have the options to do that in your container build. Then you are sure if the in the use of that container inside Kubernetes are not remember to do that, then you have taken the security very seriously and can do that. So that's what you can do with enforce the read only for one of some directories inside your containers. So that's closing it down. The last thing you should think about is when you have the container running, do you need the binary files in your container? So do you need sh access into it when it's running? If you don't need that, I will recommend to go inside your file again, and just before you change the user, I will just run this command, remove everything without asking, everything inside the bin folder. And that's saving it. And let's build it again, and build the app here, and see about we can execute let's run. Here we go. The app lsla. We are not doing this. sh app. It's already in use. Let's going for my Podman desktop and remove that folder. We have it here. I'll just stop it and delete the container again. Yes, and let's build it. Run as a daemon, and we use the image app. And now it's running. So let's see about we can execute it. So you can see here it's reset because it's nothing happened. And I think we can use touch. It's still not there. Touch, it is home app user demo.temp. You can see it's not working anymore because we have removed the entire bin directory. So that's in a way where you can be sure it's basically working only when you need it, and it's only run the application about what you need to run. So that's everything you learned from this video I really hope it's helping you to understand how you can secure your images and reduce the footprint in a secure way here from the CKS exam. Thank you so much. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe this channel, and if you have any questions, please make them in the comments below. And I really hope you enjoy the time. Thank you, and hope to see you in the next time.